we have seen issues with the character creation screen and how the environment was not properly implemented to reflect what you will be seeing in the graphical updates. And so I'm afraid when we first released the benchmark software, it was not in its optimal state. As well as the races that are available in character creation, we did receive a lot of feedback on the different elements that are reflective of poor graphical updates. And so we have gone through and sort of reviewed these different feedbacks, make sure that we are addressing what we can. And in addition to the different bug fixes, we are currently trying to finalize the different adjustments that we are applying. And even today, at 1 p.m., I had a meeting with the character team to make sure that we're looking at the screen, pointing at the different elements that we're addressing to confirm.
Cool. Hopefully they add an ass slider. You shouldn't have to wear 2B leggings to have an ass.
I wanted to provide not only a status update, but wanted to get everybody's opinion. And so I brought some screenshots to.
Okay, here we go, boys. Screenshots, let's go. Yeah. I am a big fan of the screenshots on printed
this will be
paper.
reflected in the benchmark software, but it's not just for the benchmark software. These graphical updates and the different environmental changes will be reflected to 7.0, the expansion itself. And so it's not a wasteful effort, so to speak. And of course, with the benchmark software, I think we can utilize it as well to show off Final Fantasy XIV to, say, PC vendors if they wanted to have it in their storefront, or have their customers kind of play with character creation. And so it has its use beyond the game itself. So with the feedback that we received on the benchmark software will be reflected not only in that segment, but it'll also apply to the expansion itself, which makes it a collaborative effort for us. Okay, so if we have the screenshots ready.
Ooh. Yo, you see this?
Wait,
was the
benchmark really that bad?
I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. Wait, is it like left side?
I don't know, but I'd clean this Mahote's litter box with my tongue.
So
So what you're looking at on the left side,
I will see whether I can make
this
that
is
happen
from
for
the
your
original release of the benchmark software from April.
So this is why you're my best friend.
Before we adjusted the environmental
Muno-san.
lighting. And then on the right is what we currently have with
Muno-san.
the updated
You want
lighting
moon cat or sun
adjustments
cat?
reflected.
Oh. Which one's that?
The character itself is basically
Moon is better.
unchanged.
Okay, let's go with that.
And I really apologize for this happening, because it is just a matter of adjusting the lighting. And as you can see, it is a much bigger improvement if we have the proper lighting on the character.
Man, the left looks so flat in 2D, you know what I mean? On the right, it looks like it has so much more depth. The eyes are also like way better too, man.
When I look at these different elements, I see the remnants of when we kind of hastily put together the Realm Reborn environment. And there are a lot of weird spots that we needed to fix. So previously it was set up so that it's slightly cloudy, but for some reason there's some parameters that note a rainy environment as well. So there's some wetness that can be seen in the character and things like that.
Right.
だったので本当ちょっとすいません
A
次
wet
の差し替え
character?
版では全てのマップ
And so we are preparing for a replacement version of the benchmark software, and it should have the lighting and the environment updated so that it reflects what you will see in game, and that includes the lighting as well. And so I hope you will stay tuned for the release of the updated version.
Holy shit.
に関して
What the fuck is wrong with the one all the way on the left?
Next, this is the one where I'd like everyone's opinion on. As you can see, it's the Mekote, keeper of the moon tribe, and the canine teeth, kind of like the fangs in their.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the one on the right. Honestly, you know what? Yeah, the one on the right.
And I understand it looks kind of scary.
Okay,
but in order for us to show the teeth properly,
Yeah.
we have to do
This
this.
is where they fucked up.
でですね、
Why?
男
This
性
is where
も
the
女
player
性も
base
ちょ
fucked
っと
up.
調整
The
を
player base
入れ
asked for
て
the fang and they put the
いるん
fang.
ですが、
How come the player base
真
didn't
ん
ask
中の
for
が
beard or
先日
or
4月14
nipples?
日に出た
Yeah, it's
ベンチマー
'cause
ク
they're
の時の
fucking dumb.
天
Yeah,
使なんです
so
け
they
ど、
asked for
ちょっとやっ
fang.
ぱ
They
チャー
got
ム
it.
ポイント
What
Dude,
about
the
the
one on the
nipples?
left
What
looks
about beard?
horrible. That looks scary as
今
fuck. I mean, the middle one looks good.
And
The one on the
of course,
right
we're
looks the
making
best.
updates, adjustments to
Yeah.
both the male and female
So the one on the
Mikote.
left is
And
like
the middle
scream.
version that you see on screen is from the April release version. And there was some feedback about how the canine teeth were kind of like cute on the Mikote, and it looked shorter in the benchmark release. So the one on the picture on the right shows the latest, like today's version of the update. And
Do you guys like
wanted
the
to
one on the
see
right?
What people thought about
think it looks good.
the length of those canine
Yeah, it
teeth.
looks good.
I do notice some people commenting that the one in the middle is fine. But yeah, the feedback that we received for the length of those canine teeth, it was global. So if everybody seems comfortable with the version on the right, I think we're gonna
Yeah.
finalize it at that kind of length.
選べるようにしたらいいじゃないですか。
Yeah,
選べるな
yeah,
らね
yeah. The one on the
選べるように
right. That's good. That's good.
Some people saying, well, why can't you just make it so that you can choose the length, or when the player can choose the length? But that, I'm afraid we can't do. If we could, we would, but we can't. So
一番右に調整
I mean, I guess yeah. The one on the right's still the best, right?
FYI, this is the male Mikote.
Yeah, the
and
one
so
on the
again, we're
right's still the
trying
best.
To get it to how it looks on the very right of
Mm-hmm.
this set.
右が多そう
Yeah, one on the right.
ですね。I see lots of comments saying right side.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this looks good. Oh, the one on the left, bro. The one on the
実はで
left.
すね、
On the
ミコッテ
left.
のムーンキーパーのと
You see, all these things, right, Xeno, are actually.
And then additional
Like-
feedback on the Mikote.
I mean, it was
for the
crazy in
canine
social
teeth.
media, right?
Yeah.
So
So
they
there's a certain
actually
type,
really
type-
look at
yeah,
feedback,
type
But what about your
one or
beard?
I don't
They
know.
don't care
Where
about
the
beard.
canine
I don't
tooth
give a
looks
shit.
smaller, and
Because
there
they clearly
is
listen
a-
to the players.
I'm
They
afraid
clearly
that's how
took
it was set
feedback.
up.
だから左が
Yeah, the one on the
口の
left.
形1から3の時の剣士の
That's
長
the one
さ
I
で
think.
右が口の形4を選んだ時
For
の
mouth types 1 through 3, the
剣士の長さ
length of the canine teeth will look like the one to the left. For mouth type
元々
4,
データ的に
the length will look like the one to the right. Okay. So no one's going to pick 4. Is there anybody that
And
thinks
so,
4 is better?
This was actually a hidden specification that we made because of the shape of the mouth itself will affect how the teeth would look on the character's face.
okay.
Certain types, like type 1 through 3 of the mouth shape, would be different from type number 4 because the canine tooth would
Yeah.
seem more visible, and so they had to make it smaller.
ララフェ
Holy
ルの口
shit.
の中が気持ち悪いという
Dude, this looks funny.
フィードバックがありまして
This looks like a hee-haw
More
mouth, dude.
feedback on teeth. We did receive feedback about the Lalafell and how the teeth looked very scary in the initial release of the benchmark software.
Yeah, the right one's a lot better.
現状右のように
And so with this one, people have pointed out that the shape of the skull wouldn't allow for the teeth to be shaped in that way. And we
Yeah, dude, this is
understand. And
weird.
So this is more of an FYI that we will fix it to look more like the one on the right.
Okay, yeah. Because this mouth kind of looks like,
各種族本当
it kinda looks like
一つ一つ
Massacre
この
Worm
レベルまで皆さんにいただいた
from
フィードバッ
Magic.
クも
You guys ever
我々
seen
自身で
Massacre Worm?
ちょっと
Bruh, this is
対応させていただい
Massacre
た
Worm.
上でベンチマークを
It kinda looked like that.
させていただい
Like,
て
look at the shape
かつ
here. That's what it kinda looked like to me.
7.0 でさらにね
Yo, it's actually a
And so
good
what you
card.
saw today
It's actually a pretty good
were
card.
just some examples, and there are other adjustments that we made per the different rays, but there are a lot that we had
Oh, yeah,
to
I love
address,
Magic, man.
including the feedback that we received from the players, as well
Mm-hmm.
as what we have noticed, what the development team noticed as we were adjusting these. And so, again, it was quite a lot to address, and there may be some missteps that we may notice throughout.
You
our
guys want
QA
any seeds?
process. But we are going to address as much of this as possible and update our benchmark software to release a replacement version. And on top of that, with 7.0 Dawntrail, we will make sure that the graphics quality will be raised as high as we could. And there were some comments about the lines, like wrinkles on the smile lines, like on the face. And there were some characters where we noticed that. And so we had to rebuild the normal map so that it addresses that. And with the lines on the face, this was because of the lighting, actually. The normal map was fine, but the way that the shadow would drop with the previous lighting would not affect that sort of look. So the data itself was there, but it just didn't show up because the lighting was the cast shadow was not as high quality. But with the graphical updates and then the lighting was updated too, the shadow fell on it and it became more accurate, and so it became a bit more visible.
They've been talking about this for too long, man. We get it. The lighting and shadows were fucked.
Lines showing up. We received feedback about
Yo, might
that,
I do something
we
unrelated?
did have to make some adjustments
Do I
to
need cash
polygons
in any?
of these different races as well. So
Nah,
those are
just
some of
use
the
your card.
changes that went into the updates.
Like, I understand they want to be in depth. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, I respect it. But a vast majority of us, we don't give a shit about the specifics. Okay? All you have to say was the lighting was fucked, and now we're going to fix it. That's it.
I'm gonna bring
So
like
right now we're
500
doing
USD
our
over just in
adjustments
case.
with a
Oh,
target
okay.
date
Should be more than enough,
of
right?
May
Yeah.
30th or 31st. 30 days has September, April, May. Yeah, May has 31 days. But anyways, there's a lot of items that we do need to revise. So
Okay.
we aren't confident on the final release timing of the replacement version of the benchmark.
Okay.
So perhaps
So
it
it's probably
might
gonna be in
go
June.
beyond that weekend.
Okay, yeah.
But
Yeah,
once
yeah.
we do determine
that's fine.
a release timing, I will make sure to make an
That's fine.
announcement about it. And then one more, sorry. This is actually a good news for players, I'm hoping. With regard to Fantasia, there are two items that I want to relay.
They're going to give one out.
So first, upon release of 7.0 Dawntrail, there will be a quest giver in Ulda, and the level is going to be quite low, but it is going to be related to what is a Fantasia. And so by doing that quest, you will obtain one Fantasia.
Oh, shit, they're
So
giving a
I'm hoping
Fantasia for the
that
quest,
that'll
okay.
be incentive to try out the character creation with the graphical update. And plus, with that quest
that's
in
dope.
place, it'll help new players understand what Fantasia does.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then another update to Fantasia is we're going to be adding another sort of specification or characteristic to it.
Yo, that is actually really smart of them to make the Fantasia quest.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's gonna be people, right? There's gonna be like, I don't give a fuck. I just want it now. Even if it takes 10 minutes, I'll
So
just
of
buy
course,
it.
with
Yeah.
the graphical updates,
You know?
and
It's
you'll
actually
see
good.
that in the
Smart.
updated new benchmark as well as the 7.0 character creation. We were very particular about the adjustments we made to lighting, and there are environments in which you don't see that sort of generic blue background and the lights reflecting off of it, so that you can see how your character would look in game. But of course, you want to see your character in action in locations that you have gotten familiar seeing your character in, and we did receive a lot of feedback about how we want to make adjustments to characters afterwards. And so we are going to make it so that Fantasia, within 60 minutes of playtime, so if you log out, the counter will kind of pause, but once using Fantasia, if you want to make adjustments to your character creation, you can do so within 60 minutes.
Oh!
ただしキャラメイクするたびに60分リセッ
Yo,
トされ
that's
るわけ
actually
なので
insane.
そうなるとね59
That's
分
actually
で
insane.
ささす変えっていうのができちゃうのでっていうのは
I mean, I would imagine as many times as you want within the hour.
ご活用いただければと思います
So you Fantasia.
That said, that 60-minute counter only works the first time, so you can't go in like
Oh, never mind.
minute 59 and then reset the counter. It'll
Oh, wait.
count your time if you make your readjustments as well.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that
yeah,
said,
yeah.
like,
So
if
it's just
you
an
mess up
hour.
on
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah.
you want to
Okay.
make minor adjustments to characters after you have created it in the character creation screen, you can do so within 60 minutes of gameplay playtime.
Yeah, okay.
一応コメントで
So yeah, you could change your
質問
fucking
されてる方いる
character.
んでそう
Yeah.
60
There was a question in the comments asking how many times you can make readjustments within that 60-minute time frame. There's no limitations.
Yeah,
on
that's
how
awesome.
Many times you
Yo,
can go
this
back
is
in and
sick,
change,
actually.
As long as it's within that 60-minute time frame, so you can try out all of the races, all of the different parameters that are included in the character creations if you wanted to.